So welcome back to this course. So in this video we're going to be looking at the measure tool, and we're going to look at the coordinate system as well. So you can use the measure tool to do some basic operations, like you can measure distances, you can measure areas, you can measure every other thing. So we have distance, we have area, distance in kilometers, in meter, in decimeter, centimeter, millimeter, miles, nautical miles, yard, feet, inches, areas in like manners. Alright, so you can do that for all of them. And then we have the measure a future, and then you see that by clicking on the polygon it did measure this. Measure a future, this is a polygon, each of them are polygon. Once I click on this, it measures the polygon, tells us the area, tells us the everything. Alright, so what if I just wanted to know, let's say from here to here? So I will be measuring what distance, which is here, and I'm going to measure whether it's in meters or in kilometers. So I'm just going to click here and click here. So I'm going to have a perimeter, I'm going to have a sum, I'm going to have everything, because it's a polygon feature, so it measures both the areas and all that. That's why it does that. Alright, but basically what I'm interested in is the distance. But then here, okay, the measure a future is still active. That's where it measures those areas. So let's still do what. So you see the difference now. I measure the length and the line segment in kilometers. So you have 94 kilometers from here to here. But if this feature is selected, anything it measures, it will measure it as a polygon, and it will measure other like the areas like perimeters and any other features that stuff that are within them. But we are having measure line here. This is measure an area. So meaning if I check on this and I click on this, it's going to still bring out it wants me to go around, which is stressful enough. That's why we have the measure a future, which you can easily, once I click like this, it will measure. Sorry, come. So once I check it also to an area or hectare, let's see a hectare. Let's see hectares. So it comes out with everything for me. So this is how the measure tools work. But what we're going to lay more emphasis on in this video will be the coordinate system. Now, this workspace we have here basically has a coordinate system. That's the reason why we're seeing coordinate here. So if I right click on the layer frame, this one up here, and I go to properties, or let's go to properties for now. I go to properties. Now under properties I go to coordinate system. Now here's what we're going to be explaining, because in other videos we'll just be going on and off without having to do all of this. Now there are basically two coordinate systems which we explained from our previous videos. We have the geographic coordinate system and we have the projected coordinate system, and in those videos I explain how zones are portioned in projected coordinate system, whereas this one everything. So now, depending on the nature of the work you work on, let's say for example we're working on the whole country, we cannot project the whole country into one zone. So we have to project the whole, we have to make it a geographic coordinate system. So in that you come, this is Nigeria and Nigeria is in Africa. So when you come to geographic, you go to Africa, then you go down looking for MENA. Now the MENA, there's another MENA for Cameroon, so but this is Nigerian MENA. Okay, so once you see this, you can right click on it and add to favorites. so that you don't have to be coming here. You see, as I right, it came to favorite, right? Now another thing is we can use the global. This is our local DTOOM, so we can use the global DTOOM by coming down to wall, and then we go down to WGS 1984. It's already on favorite, so once you click on this, it's also going to be added to favorite. Okay, then we are done with here. Now the next one is the projected coordinate system. Also, once you click on it, you go down and look for UTM. Then under the UTM, you look for Africa, and in Africa, you look for MENA zone 32 and 33, the 31 and 32. So we have MENA zone 31 and zone 32. If you right click, add to favorite, so you come back down, we have MENA zone 32. This is already on favorite. So next is that you go down to the global coordinate. So we have WGS 1984. Once you click on it as a folder, you go to Northern Hemisphere. Then we will have WGS zone 1984 zone 32 and 31 and 32. So let's have zone 31. You add it to favorite. I know zone 32 is already on favorite. So that's how you add every of your coordinate system. Now these are the whole coordinate system we'll be using for Nigeria. So every other country that's watching, you also check your own coordinate system and know which one is appropriate, and then understanding the job to be used so that you can knowing which coordinate system to use. It's also very vital. Like I said, if you are working for the whole country, every country is projected, is partitioned into zones, either 1 or 3. Like Nigeria is 31, 32, 33, but partially, mostly what we use is 31 and 32. So because of the whole country is being partitioned into zones, you cannot use one of the zones to project the whole country. So you have to know when you're using a state and then which zone is that state. So you need to select appropriately. So if you're using state like Kaduna, if you're using state like Taraba, if you're using state like Kano, state like Abuja, you will use zone 32. If you're using states like Plateau State, Benue, and other states within the northwest, northeast, and part of north central, because I think Niger is 31. So we are using this. You need to also know of it. You can search on internet to get such information. Alright, so basically now if we change the coordinate system to WGS 1984, that means the whole of this coordinate system will be WGS 1984. So you see, as I zoom in, you see coordinate. If we go back to that properties and we change it to a projected coordinate system now, so this coordinate system is not favorable anyway. So you see that the coordinates are changing, but then I'm just trying to make a change so that when we create a future class shapefile, you will understand how these are being applied. But I'm taking time to explain them because we won't be explaining them in subsequent video. So this brings us to the end of this session of the training, and we have an amazing time, I believe. So I know you learned something. We'll be going on to the next video and the next class, so don't go anywhere.